Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Bone, Blade, and Blood Legend of the Five Rings game. I am the Ratnos Archon. I'll be your storyteller. My name is Will. Last we left off, we opened with everyone gathered at the tent of the murder scene. Doji was taken to see the dead Nezumi previously with the Kuni, and he appeared just as the Soshi was asking for uh, people to be questioned. We revealed that the Soshi was asked by the Bayushi at the tea house, Saruman, to aid in the investigation, and as he did, he communed with the water kami that was left in the basin of the girl's tent, and we got to see a vision of the girl pulling away from the basin as if she was just having washed her face, and we got to see the water turn red as the knife, a wakizashi, slithered around the front of her neck and slit the throat cleanly. He also got to notice, everybody that was there got to notice that the handguard glinted as if it was gilded in gold, but they did see a shadowy figure in the tent's opening as well as the passing lantern in the distance. They noticed that there was no armor, no clan insignia, and just black wrappings. The doji asked one of the highest ranking samurai there to go fetch whoever was on guard duty, while he asked to have his wife taken to the Shugenja tent. So she got to meet Hida Aguro, which I think went swimmingly between the two of them. And he did manage to offer his apprentice to help out in protecting the doji's wife, who had already had a couple of iron crane set aside to protect her as well as the daughter. They searched the grounds of the tent, looking for any symbols that might have been left behind, very cautious of the events that have happened before to them, but they found none. And the only thing that they did notice, that the doji noticed in particular, is that the Nezumi and the girl were both killed in a very similar manner. But they also learned that there was no symbol carved onto her body, so this has nothing to do with what has been following them from the previous village. We got to see Soshi cast an illusion of the dead girl coming out of the tent, stretching and kind of going back into the tent, making sure that the wound at her neck was visibly healing. But we got to see the doji decide to wait no more than 3 days until they bury the girl and give her a proper send-off in the spirit realm. And we discovered that there was no child in her belly, so that definitely rules out that coincidence. And we got to see a new Kakita Yogen, put in charge of the girl's tent to make sure that nobody comes in or out. Someone from Doji's past. We got to see 2 city magistrates and a Sepun approach with the Miya daimyo. Asked for a couple of moments from Doji's time, and Doji revealed the plan to him and his Sepun guard after having them step away. That's when they kind of had a very somber moment as the Miya asked very frankly if he might have been the one that's cursed and if he's the one responsible for all the damage that's being done to his city. The Soshi asked Tamori how long they've been in service to the crane, which kind of ruffled a few feathers, pun intended, but opened up an interesting bit of dialogue that I think gave more information to the Soshi than Tamori wanted to. But we also did find that the Edda has become one of the more favorite NPCs, at least to Tamori Mori. We get to see the little dragon sneak away to kind of look for their own clues, and they made their way into the Scorpion encampment where they were found by Soshiro Naoko, who we saw wearing a Mempo-style mask that looked like a writhing pile of scorpions whenever it caught the light in different angles. And then we got to see a little bit of the all bark, no bite side of Tamori, as they became flustered the moment that tables were turned, and Shosuro Naoko started to kind of play into the idea of flirtatious advancements. Um, the doji questioned the patrolling duo that were there. They learned that there was a scorpion woman with a couple of guards that showed up with some offerings. The Asahina remarked that the woman was wearing a war mask, but that she only had a wakizashi on her belt, whereas the guards that she came with had the full daisho. The guards' masks were simple, kind of wooden. One guard had a mask that made him look like he was always smirking, while the other had a mask that made him look like he was always grimacing. And also, the Asahina did remark that her wakizashi had a small charm, like a bead dangling from her handguard. The Soshi and the Shosuro had a moment after Tamori was flustered and managed to escape the social encounter with very little scarring. And they spoke very candidly, removing their masks in front of each other, where she let on that somebody was trying to make them out to be the villains of the whole festival, and how she had seen a shinobi leaving the tent the previous evening. And then he asked her to help spread the lie of the girl having survived the attack. And that's when he used a spell to kind of report his findings to Doji and Tamori, and asked them to have a second person in the tent tonight, just in case. And we left off with all of them turning in for the night, and the Doji coming into the tent with Kakita Yogen to help defend against any would-be intruders. And we're going to find our trio of misfits and miscreants the next day. Morning comes, the cock crows. Nothing happened in the evening. Where is everyone?
I'm waking up and seeing that nothing happened. And hold on a second. Better. And the two guards are hopefully still outside. I will go and visit and spend some time with my wife for breakfast.
All right. Where's Tamori Mori?
I was with his wife, wasn't I?
Yeah, you did that. Make that whole. I'm gonna sleep with your wife, but not sleep with your wife. Sleep with your wife.
But I can sleep with your wife. Like if that's something you want me to do, like I'll do it.
We're crane. We're not scorpion.
Ooh.
Oh. I would be with Doji's wife, so I guess whatever she wants to do, I just want to make sure she's not alone at this current moment.
Yeah. And after a few minutes after waking up, you will see the doji kind of come in, and a couple servants will start to serve breakfast. Are you gonna join them, or are you gonna?
I make tea for all three of us.
Okay.
So that was I'll join them, regardless of whether I was going to or not.
Okay.
Yeah, you start to get up to leave, and suddenly there's a cup in front of you.
Yeah.
And then you sit back down.
Ben, where do we find the Soshi in the morning?
I probably still have a good 2 hours of screaming time left, because I require more sleep than the normal person.
This is correct.
So I am busy for at least a couple hours.
All right.
In the morning.
Busy screaming.
So you said that you have a ball gag that goes into your mouth. Do you also have?
It's a tube. It's not a ball. All right. no shaming, but let's keep it where it is.
We don't kink shame.
It's like Demon Slayer, that thing of bamboo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's almost exactly what it's like. Yeah.
Okay. Just putting rods in your mouth, huh?
Yep.
Got it. All right. So we'll come.
They're expensive.
Oh. Oh, so many visuals. We'll come back to you when it's appropriate that you have done all the screaming in the evening, gotten it out of your
I'll
system.
keep you posted.
Thank you. So we see the crane and the dragons eating breakfast. Clearly, Doji is still alive, so he wasn't killed in the middle of the night.
Nice.
The two guards were also not killed in the middle of the night.
Right.
Doji's wife is still alive and well, as is their daughter. Seems to be.
Oh, that's true. I would also have a cup of tea for her.
Yeah. Seems to be a good win of a night.
The small talk will be around my daughter, how she's been preparing for the tournament.
Okay.
And if she's already been practicing in her armor.
Of course.
Good. Once you complete your I always say it wrong,
Genpoku.
There's something I would like to share with you. Something I've been working on.
She bows. Of course, father. And
then I turn to my little dragon.
Your little dragon.
Because she's my little dragon. It's like I hold her close to my heart.
Yeah, but
my character kind of sees her like another daughter. Yeah, I care. She's like, I want to take care of her.
There's already like an eye twitch happening.
But I haven't said that out loud. But
no, but you said I have something to tell you, and then you fucking looked at me.
Yes. Oh no, it's not about that. But so when you went to the Scorpion encampment,
yeah,
did you see anything curious?
Curious?
Yeah, like out of the ordinary.
Yeah, I did. And then they take a sip of tea. Yeah. What exactly are you? What? Why are you looking at me like that?
You went over there to gather information and to do some clue searching. I'm wondering if you found anything.
Yeah. What'd you find?
They like swallow slowly, and they look over at Doji's daughter, and they're like,
she's looking intently at you.
I found their scorpions are really persuasive. That's my clue that I got.
I stopped for a second, I paused, and I glanced at my wife with a look of like,
her.
Does that mean what it thinks? Does that mean what I think it means?
Her pinky slowly starts to curl down, and you see her grip shift slightly on the saucer that she's drinking tea from. And you recognize immediately the look shift in her appearance as she kind of just slowly turns her attention towards Tamori Mori.
You know what? I look at my daughter and I go, I want to see your katas this morning. Let's go. And I leave them alone. I already know what that look means. I know what it means. It means I need to speak to her, get my daughter out of here. Okay, let's go.
And as the two of them leave,
and as I walk out, I grab two boken and I look over my shoulder at my wife.
Yep.
And I give her a little nod, like a little "I love you" nod, and I walk out.
Wide smile as you look at your wife, and she kind of nods. And the speed with which her hands shoot out and grab Tamori Mori's hands is surprising to you. And
the moment
her smile disappears.
The moment that Doji's daughter is like out of the tent, Tamori immediately leans forward and was like, I think I was attacked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And the second you lean in, her hands go from your hands up to your face, And she just smushes your cheeks together and pulls you into her face. And she just very coldly, tell me everything.
He puts the tea down, or they put the tea down, and they look at her, and they're like, it was an attack, but it was a good one. And also, that was the first time I saw somebody else's, that's the first time that I saw this part, the up. And she can't, like, they can't, like, but they're like, you know.
She drops her left hand and just lets her right hand kind of squeeze, like her pointer and her middle finger and her thumb just kind of squeeze your cheeks. And she just pulls you uncomfortably close to her. Mori-chan, are you virginal?
So, every thought runs through to Mori's head, and I don't know, should I lie? I don't know if I want to lie.
She is a courtier.
The
Scorpion has no opinion on whether you should lie or not.
Right?
Okay.
Somebody has been trying to lead by example for you.
What? I didn't roll shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
I did roll 2 though. Fuck. Okay, so they can't lie. Yes.
I mean, if
they say like very flatly.
If you wanted to lie, you don't have the flaw that you can't lie.
No, I don't.
So you could actually lie.
Not in front of Doji's wife. If Doji was asking me, I could fucking lie, but in front of his wife.
I mean, there is the whole skill. Excuse me. That if you wanted to lie, it would be.
What would it be? Deception? We don't have deception.
No, deception would be a specialty of one of the other skills. You could try
sincerity,
etiquette, or sincerity, depending on which angle you want to try to take with her. What are you gonna say? And I'll tell you if it's etiquette or sincerity.
They want to give the hint that they might be, but they 100% are.
Okay. So that's gonna be sincerity.
Okay. Which I have fucking nothing on, so I'm gonna roll. Never mind. I'm gonna shut my own fucking mouth.
And 11.
So they want to give the impression that they might not, but they want to be aloof. But I don't know if 11 gets an aloof.
11 is definitely not aloof.
Got it. Okay, well they attempt aloof.
Yep.
That spell where you wanted everyone to get the beat apart.
You get to see a little bit of aloofness.
Okay.
It is rough. You're like, no, like just trying desperately to deny everything, and you feel her nails dig into your flesh. Don't lie. It'll be worse for you if you do.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry. Mommy? Oh, sorry. You're right. Yes, I am.
She lets go. Okay. So there are things that you need to learn.
And they when she says things that you need to learn, I'm automatically like trying to wiggle my way out of her grasp.
Oh, she let go already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And she kind of looks at you. She looks around. She makes sure that you're the only two in the tent. And then she leans in and she's just like, with no offense meant, what are we working with?
What are we? Oh, they're asking about my genitalia?
Yes.
Hmm. So, that's not a question that Tamori ever thought anyone would ask.
Yep.
So, there's like a very slight hidden gasp at that question. And they think about it and they're like, organically or added?
And you see her grab a banana and she starts to peel it. Go on.
I either or.
All right. I will have to warn Guro to be sensitive.
You don't have to warn him. Well, I could figure that part out myself.
I mean, not given what you've told me about last night.
That was a little bit different. That was very unexpected. I'm a little more. They sigh and they straighten their back up and they're like, I'm more confident with a girl than I am with and then they whisper, women.
She motions for you to come closer.
They do.
And she puts her hand on your face. And without saying anything, she just kind of nods at you.
Mm-hmm.
And her hand slowly comes down your neck and starts to make her way around to your bosom.
And they deflect. Not meaning to hurt them,
right?
But like almost immediately, out of respect for Doji, like hand comes up and grabs the wrist. Okay. Like, fuck no. And they ask immediately, what are we doing? Because this has happened twice in 2 days, and I'm confused.
She nods and she pulls her hand back. It's just trying to see how terribly and for the first time since you've met her, yes. you see that she is stumbling.
Fuck yeah! Nice. I immediately like drop her hand and say, they're taped. They're binded. It's fine.
I understand.
They're there.
I just wanted to see how terribly off-putting it was to you.
Oh. And they kind of like turn red. My apologies. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So, you are very...
You're also married to... so that's... The test is already wrong.
She smiles and she says, what we have is special.
What we have? Like you and me, or you and Doji, or me and Doji? What's happening?
No, what I and my husband have is special.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
But if helping somebody was within our power, it would behoove us to help whatever way we can.
This is not something that Tamori has any idea.
Yeah.
I know what you're hinting at, but Tamori is not. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay. So, anyways, you guys are married. What are you talking about?
So, and you hear she kind of leans over, she opens the flap. Amaya, and one of the girls comes over. Madam. She goes, Amaya, could you fetch me the strapping young lad that is known as Hida Aguro, please? And she's like, of course, immediately. And the servant girl rushes off. And
there's just fire engine red happening, and Tamori stands up and is like, okay.
She grabs your hand and starts to pull you back down. No. If my hand is awkward, we must see what happens when you are being held by someone that you fancy.
At this point, the Nightmare Factory has closed, and he would start sending out his messages to everyone to meet.
Excellent.
Thanks for saving me.
Just trying to help.
Oh my gosh, saved by the bell.
Saved by the scorpion. But as...
Were you really saved? But okay.
As the doji and his daughter are kind of out practicing their katas.
Right? Where I take her to practice is where behind her I could keep an eye on the tent.
Okay.
Not my tent.
Yeah.
The tent.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm trying to make it look like I'm just practicing with her. And I'll call over one or two other students.
Yeah.
And I make sure that I could keep that tent in the peripheral of my vision.
Gotcha.
It should also be added that, like the last time when he sent his message, it was audible to every. It was like a speaking voice, so it's audible to anyone.
So I forgot it's a spell. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a wizard. I cast the spells.
Yes,
perfect moment to whisper into Maury's ear.
Yeah. Oh my God! Maury would probably jump 10 feet of it.
Well, he would have sent it to Tamori actually, because I'm only wasting one spell on it.
Okay.
So Tamori would have gotten the message because he assumes that Tamori is with you at any given moment because of Tamori's status as a family servitor.
Right.
So he figures you're in doing like husband father stuff, so he'll ping the person he knows is probably not socially active at this time of day.
Of course. Perfect.
Those were all backhanded compliments, by the way.
Yep.
I realize this.
Yeah, I heard it too. Thanks.
So yeah, so right at the exact moment that she grabs your hand to pull you back down, you hear Soshi's voice. And what do you say to them?
I believe it's been more than enough time for breaking our fasts. We have work to do. Meet at the tent as soon as you're able.
So this message, as they're being pulled back down into their seat, kind of like jolts them, but not, I wouldn't say like completely startles them. And then like a huge smile comes across Tamori's face, and they're like, "Hey, I just heard a voice in my head. I have to go to someone's tent."
I heard it as well.
Perfect. I love that you also heard this voice. Anyways, as fun as this has been, I gotta go.
Make sure that you pick up my husband on the way.
Oh yeah, and physically, and then they have an eyebrow raise. Physically,
whatever you'd like.
I
will be busy preparing Hida Aguro for you.
And then they're just like, they start saying preparing, and then like all the thoughts go through their head like preparing, and then
you see her take a bite of the banana. Preparing.
Got it. Okay. They do not got it, but they say got it. And then they stand up and immediately like beeline, like sprint the fuck out of the tent to get to Doji.
Oh man.
So
you find Doji off to the side. With
okay, but
students.
wait, can I sneak up and then pick him up? Can I stealth? Come on.
You know what? Let's you actually put points to it. Let's have you roll off against your stealth against his investigation.
Investigation.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Where
Try
the
to get
hell's
better at that.
investigation? Oh, I found it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm getting him. What the fuck? What does this mean?
Let me see.
I believe
does it mean?
goes the runner.
A 30 against a 30.
30.
Oh,
Here it is.
man.
Here it is. She sneaks up so well that nobody else notices her except me.
Yeah, for sure. Easily, you think like none of the kids have seen you. He has his back to you. There's no way he could have possibly have seen you sneak up on him. And
So as soon as because I know what she's going to do, I use my jujitsu to slip down under her arms and get behind her.
Are you rolling for that? Because I can try that too.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
fucking go against each other again.
Okay. So opposing jujitsu rolls.
Can't see shit.
27 versus 25.
Oh! Fucking
Oh
annoying.
man.
You almost get me though. It's like so close. So close.
So close.
If I wasn't like 3 inches shorter than you, no, if I wasn't almost like 6 inches shorter than you would have caught me.
Yeah. You try hard as you can. You know he can't hear you. You know he can't see you, and you just like come in almost like Jason Momoa about to grab Henry Cavill in that infamous meme, and he just turns the tables on you almost instantly.
Son of a bitch.
And you see all the kids just are like flabbergasted.
And I look at the children and I say, and that's why you always need to be perceptive of all your surroundings, not just your opponent.
Oh my god, the fucking lecture. Jesus Christ.
Right?
And I look over at you and I go, and I say really quietly, you almost got me.
That does nothing for Tamori. Thank you very much. After a big breath, Tamori says, we gotta go. We're being called, whispered in my ear.
Oh. And this whisper said?
The whisper said, and Tamori thinks about, they were a little distracted during that moment.
Yep.
So they said, they go to we gotta find him. He's in his tent? Question mark?
No idea where his tent is.
Me neither.
He said the tent.
Yeah, that wasn't very specific, was it?
It wasn't.
You know where one tent is in the Scorpion encampment?
No, but we were working in a central tent to do all of the things.
The tent I'm watching.
They would.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, a tent, Doji. Do with that what you may.
Could it be that tent? And I pointed the one behind me.
It could be any tent.
Okay.
Tamori is visibly flustered, obviously, and doesn't know, is very conflicted whether should I tell you your wife is eating a banana and getting ready for eating?
So I will turn to the children and my daughter, and I tell them to go and do their katas. And then, I tell them what to, do your katas, do this for us today. Relax a little bit. Meditate over what you're going to do during the tournament. And I give them like a list of things to do.
Okay.
And by the way, some chores.
Nice.
Some chores?
Tamori,
yes, because they're still children.
Tamori, could you give me a investigation roll, please?
Okay. Investigation.
What a show.
That's intimidation, which I automatically always go to. Investigation.
6.
Yeah, fuck me. All right.
Fantastic. Those are the numbers I'm used to.
Wow. Thanks. Thank you so much. I love it.
Doji sees through the tents, through the crane tents. You just see the very bushy, kind of wild top knot of a barely made himself presentable Hida Aguro, just kind of like a shark coming through the tents towards you guys. He is just padding like a feral tiger towards Tamori. And you see the exact same thing about to play out, where they have not seen him. He is coming in low like a crab, arms outstretched like pincers, about to strike.
Damn.
What I do is, as soon as he makes the move to get them, I step backwards, like gracefully out of the way.
So
would that roll be enough to notice any of this as I come walking up on them?
45? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, bro, come on.
That's...
I'm good.
You know my
Jesus.
internal monologue. That's what you get with a fucking 45.
Yeah, you see the same thing. The man bun, the wild black hair, just kind of popping up and down through the tents like a shark fin. And
they're approaching my favorite awkward dragon.
of
I
course.
believe.
Oh yeah. And you see
Awkward dragon.
the crane take a step back. So you see Doji take a step back suddenly in the middle of his sentence, and as your head cocks, you feel the presence of the large arms. You see the two hands kind of coming up around your waist, and it just pulls you into a bear hug and lifts you up off the ground.
And they scream like the biggest girl that has like the biggest girl scream. Because that was not. If I had fucking rolled a 6, I had no fucking idea he was behind me.
You
Like
don't.
an idiot.
Not at all.
You don't.
I attempted to shout out, but nobody would have listened to me anyway. We have work to do. Unless this person is here to assist in the investigation, I believe that we're behind schedule.
So nothing happened last night at all.
Yeah.
I stayed in the tent.
Aguro
Is this whole conversation gonna happen while I'm midair?
Yeah,
No.
Aguro spins you around and then puts you back down. Sorry. Sorry.
I shoo the children away.
Yeah.
They don't have to hear any of this shit.
Yeah, he quickly grabs them and is like, "All right, let's leave. I made a mistake." And he starts to pull all the kids away.
Who pulls all the kids away?
Hida Aguro.
Oh shit. Okay.
You didn't make a mistake. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and you just see him like he has an apologetic look on his face, like he fucked up.
Oh, because of the scream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So as soon as the kids are out of earshot, so last night nothing awkward or weird happened at the tent. I stayed here. Nothing happened at my tent. Correct? My wife, nothing weird happened.
Nothing weird happened.
So maybe the person might be waiting for another time to strike, or might just ignore the target.
There's a chance of either or. I imagine that someone else will be murdered, possibly tonight, if they don't come back to find out what's going on with this one. Hopefully they will follow the bait that we've laid out and strike here. But there will be another killing.
There's somebody that we need to confer with. Hold on a second. I yell out Hito's name. Hito, Hito-san! Hello?
Sorry, you see him lifting your daughter up, and he kind of like turns to look at you, and then he puts her back down, and sheepishly starts to make his way back towards you.
when he gets there, I bow a little bit to him, and I, Hito-san, our friend, I forgot the family's last name, the Demon Hunters,
Kuni.
the Kuni, we need to speak to her.
I can arrange that. Sure.
Thank you. I don't want to impose on your camp, so that's why I'm asking you to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that. Yeah.
Because I actually, let me ask you something.
Okay.
He's welcome here because all the Crane know that he is my best friend.
Yeah. That's why nobody stopped
It's
him
like
when he
obvious.
was. Yeah. Nobody stopped him when he was stalking through.
How do the crab treat me?
The ones that are
Like
attached to
Kleenex?
the ones that are attached to his family
Yeah.
know the relationship that you have, so you're welcome there.
Okay.
But the majority of the other families, like, they don't know who you are, so they don't
Fair. Yeah, they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's why because I didn't know. But still, I wouldn't feel comfortable just dropping in, especially the Cooney, because I have no idea where they're staying in the encampment.
Yeah.
And it would be improper. I haven't developed that type of relationship with all the crab yet. I have a question though. Remember, in between the adventures, my little part of the Crane Lands, any Cooney that came in, we were going to give them food, give them a set of armor. Has that news traveled yet?
There hasn't been any Cooney except Seizo that has partaken of your hospitality. The taint hasn't reached Crane Lands
there yet.
Yeah, so
there's
no need for Cooney to be out that far.
Okay.
That far east.
Fair. So the Cooney that we spoke to, does she seem to own a set of armor?
Sango, no, not at all.
Yeah, I'm taking care of that problem. Okay, I asked Hito to set up a meeting.
Yep.
And that's it. Because that's about the only thing I could do.
He bows and he excuses himself and runs off.
And then I'm sorry. Then I look at Tetsuro. Tetsuro?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tetsuro. Yeah. Okay. So Sushi-san. Actually, it's Soshi-san.
Yeah.
Soshi-san. So the murderers, at least the first one that had a symbol, is making me, and the fact that I have a feeling that whatever's going on here has something to do with Maho.
Quite possibly.
And it would behoove us. It would behoove us to have an expert at our side. At least for consulting.
Oh, it's fine. I'm more trying to figure out whether or not what I know would have any correlation to Maho, but no, I don't think so.
The first body had one of those symbols, and the group that we fought last time was using those symbols at every murder.
Well, it can't hurt to ask questions, can it?
Character.
Huh.
Nobody's told Soshi about the other murder, right?
He knows that there was another murder in the tea house.
No, the third one. There's 3 of them.
Oh. What's the third one?
The
Nezumi?
Yes.
No, nobody has told him about that.
That's what I thought, and I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Because I don't know. The Kunis seem to be keeping the existence of Mizuni a secret.
Yep.
And I do not want to break that trust.
Yep.
I love that we have this investigation we're trying to solve from 3 completely different fields of vision.
Yes.
So we are at a somewhat of a dead end. I have been walking around looking, and I have lost track of how many freaking Wakasashis I have seen with a gold guard.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anyone. my guards only saw her coming in here, but oddly did not mention her two guards, which she never seemed to be anywhere without. I'm talking about the Scorpion, your clanmate.
I know who you're talking about.
So it made me think that we might be dealing with another of these shape changers.
If the shape changer were able to mimic skills learned through a lifetime of rigorous training and
One of the shapeshifters, well, the shapeshifters are taken from a person turned into one of these things, but they keep the skills and knowledge of the person they were before. We fought
I
a scorpion.
sincerely hope not, or we're in a lot of trouble.
We fought a scorpion. We fought a Shukenja who apparently still knew all their magic. And oh, there was a peasant that had been turned, and for a moment she battled against the control that was in her. So she was still in there, and that knowledge was still accessible. But also, I think they kind of have a hive mind going, but that's different.
These are all very interesting theories. I feel that it might be a good idea to talk to your friend. I will confess to some at least mild concern if they're able to absorb the abilities of people. I know
Agreed.
that the Scorpion clan, if not already, will soon be, no doubt, the victim of a smear campaign saying that we're somehow responsible for this. But the concern I have is that there are people out there, reprehensible, awful people who are worthless in the eyes of our ancestors, that are skilled in the arts of subtle murder and striking from the shadows. It is
Agreed.
possible that we might be dealing with one of those.
We
I
could be.
refuse to name the class of people out loud because to call attention to even the name of their profession would be to sully our ears. But the skills represented do match up with that particular terrible case.
Agreed. But them trying to smear a clan, it's not the first time. Uh, Back when we first fought them, they tried to smear my clan, taking the form of Crane twice. The second time, actually taking my form.
And how did you kill that one?
I didn't. My clansmates did.
Oh, are you sure?
Positive.
Very well. Well, if it's another shapeshifter, then we may be in a great deal of trouble, especially if he has adopted the skills of the assassin. You may find this difficult to believe, but we Scorpion have occasionally been the victim of assassination attempts. Most of us, at least twice. The skills of an assassin, while they're able to be circumvented from time to time, if they're methodical and intelligent, it is quite possible another one of these will be happening, and there's not much we can do to stop it unless we are willing to stick to one game plan and hope it works for the best.
Fair.
Which my setting up of the murder, I've had my clanmates, including one who took a liking to Mori Mori, is currently working on a counter whispering campaign, as it were.
Fair. Mori-san,
Yeah.
do you have any suggestions? Because honestly, beyond sitting and waiting and hoping, I'm at a loss.
I'm glad to see that you made it back to your tent last night, Tamori. I was worried about you when we parted company.
You don't have to be worried about me. I can handle myself.
Dragon could definitely take care of themselves. I've seen them cut down
Right,
a
but there's
spider demon by themselves.
there's
He's
this
having
look.
such a hard time.
Right, yeah.
Really grateful for the mask to hide how much he's smiling as he says that.
And Tamori is trying to give him the look of like, don't fucking say anything in front of Doji.
You could totally see that I'm trying. Okay,
Sorry.
I am trying to save her face. I'm trying to save face for her.
Yep.
By making it more of a martial question.
Yep.
But because we both know what happened,
Right.
there isn't no saving face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, there's a lot of glares.
So, do you have any ideas, Maury? Maury-san.
Ideas about what we should do. We're not going. The Scorpion are fine. We figured that part out. We have our clues. So maybe another encampment. Hide's going to the crab. Who else is here? Lions?
Lion.
Actually, it's not a bad idea to. No, I already warned the lion. Remember, I spoke to the head.
Yep.
Okay.
And I gave him a heads up what was going on. I even told him get your Shinjuka and set. You know what I mean? I gave him a heads up. Have the other two? Have any of the other clans arrived yet?
No.
Okay.
Is that odd?
The Phoenix not so much. The Dragon a little bit, depending on which route they took.
Interesting. Okay. Gives us a little bit more time to work with. Because when they all show up, things start happening.
Yep.
Okay.
So we should wait on the crab.
Yeah.
Or we should go to the crab?
No, well, we're going to end up going to the crab once everything... Well, they might come here. I don't know. Yeah, I could commonly just walk into the camp on Hito's clan side, but the other crabs don't know me on a personal basis. So, I guess we wait. Would you like some tea, Toshi-san?
I appreciate the generosity, and of course I will not refuse if it is insisted, but I do not find myself parched at present. My needs have been attended to today.
Okay. Well then, I'll be back. Give me one moment, and I'll go into the tent real quick. Check on Kikita, see how he's doing.
Well, while he runs in the tent, I just look over.
Don't you say a word.
I will say nothing.
Good.
What I will add is that I had a conversation with her immediately after, and I assure you, you were not the only one that was pushed last night. Fortunately, a double wrist lock was enough to convince her to not continue to attempt to work her wiles. I recommend that you don't attempt the same feat. I have a little bit more leeway, but if any others attempt that, by all means, feel free to chastise them.
Is this common for all of the Scorpion women?
No, it is a cliche. It is a trope, but sometimes stereotypes exist for a reason. In our case, he is the epitome of the overly dramatic, seductive Scorpion. I find her to be quite boring.
Tamori takes like 2 steps towards Soshi and asks, she said that she knew something about me. And then he leans, like he ducks down to like be close to Soshi. What did you tell her?
I said nothing. About you, anyway, other than that you looked mildly uncomfortable. Which I don't think I was out of line in suggesting, given your state of affairs.
Are there rumors about me on your encampment?
The Scorpion? No. Please don't let this affect your ego, but nobody cares.
They take like a big sigh of relief and they're like, good. And they lean back away from Sushi.
I'm sure your state or whatnot is something that someone could potentially care about if you gave them a reason to, but at present, I believe you were almost the victim of a scattershot approach to seduction. 3 or 4 people of all various types threw themselves at you just to see which one would stick.
I just saw one.
You didn't see the 6 lurking in the shadows to see which person you choose.
Ah. No, I did not. You're correct.
In the tent, you see Kakita Yogan kind of sitting there and just kind of pulling on his kimono to kind of draft himself. And you immediately sense that it is hotter in the tent than it is outside.
Is that normal?
No. He doesn't have any stove on. He doesn't have anything to produce heat inside.
My hand goes down to my katana, and I start to look around, and I'm like, why is it so hot in here?
And he just kind of looks at you. It has been this way since I've woken up, since you left. Actually,
I put my hand on his head. Is he burning up?
No. He actually feels as cold as it is outside.
My head comes out, and I look directly at Mori, and they see that look on my face, and my head pops back in.
So that means I follow them in.
No, it's the look of crap. You've seen that face on more than once. It's that look of
what does crap mean?
Like something's wrong. There's something wrong face.
What does that mean?
What does Mori do with?
What does Mori do? Yeah, what does Mori do?
I don't have nonverbal communication.
Go into the tent.
How can I do this?
Go into the tent.
Because you don't get it.
You want me to go? And then Tamori fucking yells at you. Do you want me to come in the tent or not?
Both of you. I have tea.
Why didn't you say
you
that?
should join us.
And then they enter the tent.
I can't believe that she just made me lie.
As she's going in, I just look over.
I quickly start getting tea ready, so it's not a freaking lie.
Yeah.
For the record, Tamori, I don't think he was telling the truth about us needing to go in there for tea.
You know, as a scorpion, you're probably very perceptive about people who lie.
Wow.
Ha.
So as soon as you guys get into the tent, you are welcomed by hastily made tea.
Yeah. You see the second that the tent flap opens and Tamori is about to step in, the heat dissipates. The breeze
That's interesting.
comes in as the flap opens and it just cools the tent almost instantly.
But it didn't do that when I walked in.
No.
I start.
Hold
on, magic.
I concentrate on my kami.
Oh. Make a wind ring roll. Oh.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if they're there.
What are you doing?
No, you just saw me close my eyes and go.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I see that you were making tea and you stopped.
Did you feel the heat when you came in here?
No.
It was incredible. I hand you the tea. It was incredibly hot in here.
Ow!
And Mori-san, when you came in, the heat left. But when I came in, the heat stayed. I tried to...
I start looking around for traces of the kami. See if one maybe left recently.
Oh.
Oh, that's going to be interesting.
It would be sense.
It would be sense.
Which is a wizard thing.
Wizard.
Are you magic?
No.
Nope, that's 0.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you can't tell shit.
How did you roll a 0?
I don't know, because it said casting.
That's
Yeah.
impossible because it's
Yeah.
1 plus 12 plus
Yeah.
12 plus 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's
it's
really
magic.
weird. It says
So if-
keep
if-
0.
Yeah, if,
Which
if
isn't
something's
true.
wrong in the code.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a. Wow, he rolled 2 10s, so those would have exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did better than 0.
Yeah. Where is sense?
That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It is.
That is so weird.
See what happens when I do it. Yeah, it still keeps 0.
It's something up with the code.
Yeah, that's really weird.
What?
Yeah, I
Got
rolled,
an investigation.
I rolled terrible compared to Soshi. But yeah, either way, you managed to perform the spell. Are you using the scroll? Are you going off of memory?
I mean, that's a memory cast one. It's the
Okay.
basics. It's a
Okay.
Shugenja cantrip.
Yeah.
But his sleeve does come up, and you can see the basics of almost a prayer scroll from the wrist up is tattooed all along his arm,
Yeah.
and he reads off that.
Okay. There is a sensation. Oh, that's why it's keeping 0. You didn't attach a ring to it.
It didn't say. It just said cast hit button.
Yeah. But because you're trying to sense a specific element, you would have to attach a ring to it.
Oh.
So that's
Alright,
why.
well, I'll start with air then. Actually, no, let's do fire because heat left the room.
Now you should keep something if you cast it. Yeah, look at that shit, bro.
I'm a good spellcaster.
Okay, so now we know that the code is working. And it's just a user error.
Hello.
But you got 32, which is more than enough to sense the lingering sensation of a fire kami, at least. It's almost like you can see the little steps of fire still kind of kindling on the ground where it danced around the room. It kind of, you saw that you can see that it left most of its tracks around where Kakita Yogen was sitting, almost figure 8ing like a cat around its feet. But it doesn't look like it was trying to destroy anything.
Then I will summon it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Get your ass back here and tell me what you were doing, boy.
Who do you think you are?
Summon is
Ooh.
another one of those that you gotta attach the ring to.
I did.
You did. Look at you. You
I even
learned.
attached the fire ring because it was a fire spirit.
You did. And that is
Once I am told something once, after 3 times, I learn it forever.
You learn it forever. Look at you. What are you gonna use to pull it into creation?
Well, they had heat going for the tea, so there had to be a fire underneath in a tea stove or whatnot. So I used that to. I just reach over I grab a cloth off the table and open the front of the tea stove, and the fire kami will
leap out,
have a home for the time being.
Yeah, and it starts to. You see it start to just kind of very Howl's Moving Castle just sit at the bottom of this tattered piece of fabric, and it starts to just eat it like a very thick linguine strand. Whereas Doji and Tamori would just see this little spark of flame shoot out from the stove and just start to eat just burning the bottom of this cloth that Soshi has in his hand.
You've been gifted with something to burn, and now we may begin a conversation. What were you doing here?
Heat.
Is Calcifer with us?
Were you called here?
Yes.
Were you sent here by someone?
Yes.
Do you know who summoned you?
No. And you just see him
Oh,
slowly eating up this cloth.
Do we hear this?
you can hear my side, but it's in
Okay.
fire.
Yeah.
If you speak fire,
Okay, so I just Tamori the whole time is like,
Lean over because I've been around Shinjuku enough. He's
yeah.
communing with the fire kami that he summoned.
I know. I have also been around Shugenja, but I wasn't expecting him to talk to a little flame. It's adorable.
Agreed.
yes, quite. Can you take me to the one that summoned you?
No.
And why not?
They're gone. And you see it's about halfway through the cloth.
And did they send you to this tent in particular?
Yes.
And you were here to eat.
Yes.
Why did you flee the room when the other one entered?
Because of you.
Because of me?
And it is 3/4 of the way done with the cloth.
I roll my eyes and throw a napkin in there.
I see a very expensive silk napkin fly into the fire, and I'm like, oh.
Yep.
And what were you hoping to eat while you were here prior to my arrival?
You see it stops chewing, and whatever indentations, whatever coloring it has that differentiates its face from the rest of its body, you can see it just kind of looking towards Kakita Yogan.
You were hoping to eat him.
And then it eats the cloth and evaporates. Bye.
When this is all over, remind me to summon an air kami and have that little piece of awful eradicated. Yeah. So yes, it was sent
So
here
when you say that, the air shifts awkwardly in the tent.
The drop in temperature suddenly.
Oh no, something to do with air kami. I don't know anything about those.
Shinjuku.
Yeah. I ain't scared. I ain't scared none. Peasant magic. Your peasant magic don't know nothing.
So what did they tell you?
It was sent here specifically to devour any absently waves at the other gentleman that's there.
I just stared at him like, so it was an assassination attempt.
Yes, a lazy one.
A very lazy one. Like, you see my eyes get really big, and I dart out of the tent and run to my tent.
Okay.
I go, it was a duh. I just say duh, and I'm out the door.
Yeah.
I'm out the flap.
Yep.
I take a sip of my tea.
I look over at Soshi.
Bad tea. He hastily made it.
It's horrible. I mean, there's grains in there.
Yeah.
It's atrocious.
He didn't let it steep at all.
I look over at Soshi and tell him, so the thing about Doji is he doesn't explain himself, and the reason I follow him all over the place is because he just does whatever he wants.
And like Akita looks at the two of you, he's like, am I safe here?
Probably not.
Why would someone want to kill you?
I don't know.
Tell me something interesting about yourself that would make somebody want to kill you.
I'm just a loyal samurai of the Empire. I studied with...
Tamori is slinking the fuck out of that tent.
Yeah, he's going on a full-on like history lesson of his life. He's like,
oh fuck no. Tamori's like...
yeah, I studied with Doji's father. We went to the same dueling academy.
This was probably a ruse, and I walk out of the tent heading towards the other.
He's like about to tell you about when he met his wife, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll just stay here."
Yes, don't have any open flames around. They'll probably consume you. And
he immediately starts to put out the stove. Then the doji runs into his tent, and he sees that his wife and his daughter are in there talking.
The temperature?
Fine. Same as outside. A little warmer. But they do have a stove on.
My hand comes off of the handle of my blade.
Yep.
I give them both a kiss on the forehead.
Okay.
And I just walk out.
Yep. You see,
and my heart's going. Da, 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 da.
You see Tamori Mori walking towards you, and a little ways behind them, you can see Soshi.
Yeah, you see, like my hand, like doing this thing. And I'm doing the nose mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Right. And Tamori puts like their big ass hands on his shoulders, and just like leans forward, like hinging at the waist, and is like, Doji, you need to tell me what you're fucking thinking. And that's
I was terrified. I was terrified. It was a distraction.
While we're at it,
to pull us away from my wife.
You may have myriad talents, Doji-san. However, might I recommend perhaps getting more training in the art of tea brewing?
Sorry, that's like I've got in his face.
I raised you.
Hands off and backwards.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, do you think me incorrect in my assessment? As I kind of reach under the mask and pull out like a piece of tea off my teeth and lick it absently.
The temperature of the room and everything that was happening distracted.
I cross my arms and say, so she's right.
Mori that you were making tea. The tea was already made when you were serving it.
I understand that. Look, did I give you tea when you came in?
No.
Oh, no.
Then I gave you tea. Are you questioning the fact that I gave you tea when you came in?
No. I think
then we're good.
Your litigation is something
so
my clan could benefit.
I feared that event, I still think what happened in there was a distraction. It was half-hearted. It wasn't really meant to kill him. If that kami would have
are we still
materialized,
tea, or are we talking about
if that kami would have materialized, I am confident that Kikita-san would have cut it down in moments.
You hear a horn from the lion encampment.
You hear a what? A horn?
A horn.
And you see, I look at all three of you like, crap. And I go in that direction.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, okay, a horn. By the way, a horn is it's not a hi, it's a oh crap.
It's an
If a horn's
emergency.
blown is an emergency.
Okay. All right.
If it was a group coming in, they don't blow a horn when they show up, right?
No,
Yeah,
nobody has.
it's an emergency. A horn is blown, it's an emergency. And I was just saying, it was a distract. It was to distract us.
I dare say, I dare say, Mori-san, that the true distraction might have been him having to own up to his tea craft.
Agreed.
Yes.
Excuse me, you have had my tea, Mori-san.
I've also had your sake, and it's significantly better.
Ooh.
I know. I look and I go, it is the finest sake in the Crane Lands. I would expect nothing less. Actually, I would argue it is the finest sake in the Empire.
So your expertise in that arena means that the rest... You're correct. How can one devote themselves to such perfection and expect to have proficiency with any other aspect? Why, such a person would need to be sagacious as the Emperor. You have your sake. How can one expect you to also make tea?
It's not my perfection, and my hand goes down to my blade.
Oh, don't. Okay, no.
It's like an example. It's like a tap. Like
okay.
that. No, that is not like I'm getting ready to draw. It's like that is not my perfection, and I tap my blade, and I go,
Well,
I am a doji, and I just walk, and I leave that hanging.
I lean over to Soshi and whisper, I am also perfection. And I like roll my shoulders back and walk.
and you shall be the perfect targets.
No hubris whatsoever.
So I just saunter behind them, absolutely picking tea out of my teeth.
You arrive.
Okay, it's crane grains, very fine. It's not like crab that's a giant flakes, okay?
I mean, you're assuming
I'm
that
still picking twigs out of my teeth, boy.
yeah, you're assuming that
Care how fine it is.
Hidaguro
I just
hasn't
ate a leaf.
snuck in some of his crab tea into your tea.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, but
see all the damn time.
You arrive at the lion encampment. You see that everybody's militarized. People are putting on armor. People are kind of keeping the borders at bay. They're not allowing anyone into the encampment.
I will stop at the border.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the head of the lion again?
That's the wrong window to open. I will tell you right now.
That's the wrong window open. What?
Yeah, I was like that. I opened the wrong window.
Was it Akachi? No.
That's where am I? There it is. Too many folders. The head of the lion is Akoto Shanarie.
Look at one of the guards,
the female.
and I go, because I spoke to her.
Yep.
Inform Akoto Shanarie that we are here if they need any assistance.
The guard.
We offer because offering your assistance would not be dishonorable. No, because then it's we can't handle it.
Yeah.
How can I word this? I'm going to use my etiquette.
Okay.
To try to say that we are here if they need any assistance, because people know that we're investigating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to make it in a way that, of course, you guys can handle this. But if you just happen to need someone, 33.
33. One of the guards leans over to the other one, and you see them whispering something, and the other one nods, and the one who whispered goes off, and after a moment, you see Akoto Shanarie being brought over. She bows.
How deeply?
Doji-san, Just the person I was looking for. You are the daimyo's lead investigator, yes?
Correct.
And she motions. Let them pass. They must see this.
And I will, the 2 guards.
Yeah.
That were there that stopped us from coming in. I bow to them in respect because they did their damn job.
Yeah. They bow. They return the bow. And you're brought to a tent near the far edge of the encampment, and it looks the same as the tent that you came across with the girl. Face down, water basin, just more blood than water, and just a very clean cut along the neck.
I will start from outside the tent this time, looking around for any symbols.
Make an investigation roll.
Damn, I wish Akami was here. 21.
21.
I wish Akuni was here. That would have been a 59.
That would have been fucking, yeah, at least 42. It would have been double. You see that there isn't a symbol carved in, but you do notice that there's some rocks that have been placed with enough of them under the tent that you'd have to lift the flap up, but it is the symbol for gold.
I motion so everybody stays away from that symbol. And I look at Soshi-san and I point down to the symbol.
Fascinating. I'm assuming this was the type of marking that was found at the other murders.
At the first one. And then back at the original event.
Interesting.
And I think for a second, and I look at Mori-san. Do you see the tents? They're like more of a half sphere, like a dome, or are they like triangles?
No, the lion tents are definitely half spheres.
Okay, I thought so. I look at Mori. I go, Mori, I can't see the top of the tent. Could you see if there's anything on top of it? Anything marked?
Sure. So Mori goes outside. Do I have to roll investigation?
No, you can see it clear as day.
Okay.
There is very subtle marking, but it looks like there's something was written on the top of this tent.
I mean, it's a tent, so Doji can hear me if I say exactly that, right?
Yeah.
I just look at the scorpion, and I went, oh, this feels way too familiar.
You would have to take down the tent to see what the symbol is because of the curvature of the globe. But you can see that something was written in what looks to be blood.
Oh, shit.
Meanwhile, Soshi is looking around. I'm assuming it's just like the last scenario.
Yep, face down, throat slit, water basin knocked over.
Where's the window, the flap leading to the back? I believe that was cut last time, or someone came into that.
There is none. There's only the single flap.
Okay. Then I will. Has the water basin been overturned?
Yep, there's more blood than water in it.
Well, I haven't figured out how to work with that yet, but if I keep studying.
Yeah.
When Tamori Tamori comes back into the tent and kind of looks at Doji and says, "This means it probably wasn't personal to you."
No. But it makes me wonder why these targets. What do they have in common beyond being all female? Huh. I step out of the tent and I motion to somebody who I think would. Actually, I don't. I motion to a higher ranking lion.
Yep. Yakoto's still there.
And I ask them for a messenger. Because it is not my
Alright.
place to ask for a messenger.
So, Maury, it might not be a bad idea for us to fetch that Eta we're already familiar with.
I'm on it. And
No. I'm on it. Shh. Let me be on it. I love that, Edda.
You want to be on
I
it?
know.
Yeah.
Oh, that Edda, I'm going to kill him if he shows up. Can we get another Edda? Please?
No,
Can we have another?
Wait, how can I roll to get the same Edda? I
Well,
want to.
We need an Edda. But not only do we need an Edda, I need a message sent to Hero at the crab so they can bring
The Coney.
yes.
Cooney over here.
Okay.
Please, like now, like urgently.
Yeah. And
by the way, at this point I asked again to get guards to push everybody away from the tent at least like 10 feet.
Yep.
Like nobody comes close.
They do. And she tells you that she's already summoned an Edda.
Good, thank you.
Is it the same one?
You will find out.
Please don't. Please no.
I'm going to summon up a since water seems to be pretty much useless at this point. I will keep the flap open, and I will summon any air spirits that might be within this tent.
Sure.
Because somebody had to have seen something, so I'm hoping I get a lead this time.
Okay. See what you get.
And
Remember to switch the ring to air.
Yes, I did that.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to shoot for 2 raises.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yep.
Wow. You definitely got it. You don't get a free raise because you're not doing any scumbag.
Nope. That's why I said I'm shooting for regular raises.
Yep. So the raises here can either increase the range of your spell by 10 feet or summon an extra cubic foot of material.
Well, this is commune, not summon.
Oh, I apologize. I thought you were pulling.
No, because there's already plenty of elemental creatures around this encampment right now.
There are.
And there had to be at least one air kami. So if anything, I get an extra question per raise.
Yep.
And I get 2 normally.
Yep. So you get 4 total questions.
Actually, I'll take 3 and I'll use the other raise to get more accurate and informative answers.
Okay. Be that way.
Sorry.
Is someone's getting Kuni and Hida or no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So everything's being taken care of. Nice.
Yeah. And as Soshi, you hear Soshi kind of chanting, reading off of his arm. You suddenly feel a gust of wind circle the tent, and Soshi can see just this very fluid face kind of swimming through the air around him. Hello.
Greetings. And I look at the body.
Are we playing?
You tell me of the one that killed her.
Is this the game?
There is no game. I ask a question, you answer the question.
It's not a fun
Think
game.
me not like my contemporaries in other clans. The Scorpion know how to get information one way or the other from you and your kind.
You see it slide underneath you and into your kimono, and the rest of you see the kimono kind of billow as the air kami kind of goes in. And you hear it tickle, tickle, tickle time.
Oh God, do I summon another one to destroy it and then start questioning that one?
Air spirits are children.
Yep,
Soshi, your shirt Are you okay?
I'm aware. I'm fine. Can you
Okay.
show me an image of the one that killed this woman?
And you see
And do your absolute bestest. I want to see the nicest picture you can make.
it swirl into existence in front of you, and you just see this very bland looking humanoid. But it looks like it's covered in head to toe, like a mummy.
So wrappings.
Yeah.
In the still image with the clarity, can I get a few more details about it than we had before? Maybe a better look at the weapon or some kind of identifying character. They're not too tall, they're not too short. I'm assuming they're dead somewhere in the middle, but that'll let us rule out the people that are too tall and too short.
Yeah. It definitely appears to be your height. The body does not feel male or female.
Okay.
And you can see that there is only, instead of being on the belt, there is a wakizashi in its hand, in its left hand.
Any markings, tattoos, deformities? Does it only have one arm? That's a pretty important one because I'd
Both
like to
arms.
think I didn't kill her, but
Both arms. Both legs, a head, and a torso.
and can you, I'm sorry, show me where it went after this?
And you just see the image disappear as it leaves the tent.
But it was walking, but you see it, I saw it leave the tent,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So when it left the tent, did it just do the good guys walking away from explosions thing? Did it look like it was trying to creep out?
Yeah,
Did
it opened the flap, looked out, and then it crouched down, and you see it kind of start to crawl on the floor out of the tent. And as it turns towards the right out of the doorway, it starts to vanish as the air spirit just lost interest in it.
Was it a Shosuro walk on the ground or a creepy walk on the ground?
No, it was creepy. It was
Okay.
like, instead of kind of digging its hands into the dirt itself, like, it very much just crawled on the tips of its fingers and the balls of its feet.
So I've got one more question left.
Yep. And again, it just kind of swirls into your kimono and it starts to billow it out.
Yeah.
So you look like an old-fashioned Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I'll have this commie destroyed later.
Don't. How dare you?
That's an internal monologue.
I know it is, and this is a Ray reaction, not a Tamori reaction.
Yeah. You don't like air kami? That's your bread and butter.
Can you show me the events immediately leading up to her death?
You
Show me what she
see
was doing before then.
you see a small version kind of play out like Bunraku theater, as it does have to play multiple parts, so it kind of splits itself off. But you see the girl coming in to the tent, one of the boxes in the tent opening, and this figure creepily, almost like pop and locking itself into existence out of the box and coming up behind her and then just slitting the throat, letting her, almost pushing her towards the water basin, so that it kind of fills up with blood and then is knocked over. And then you see the situation where she wipes the body, wipes the blade clean, puts the bloody papers into its wrappings, and then squats down, looks out the the flap and then starts to creepily crawl out. And this time you notice one of its feet kind of reaches back and closes the box.
Interesting. Very interesting. When am I telling everybody what happened? Am I waiting for someone?
Are you asking that?
Yeah, out loud. Just
Yeah, I would wait for the Kuni.
very well. It's a fascinating story.
About your shirt?
No, about what the thing in my shirt showed me.
Oh, is that what we're calling it now? Okay, I walk out.
Well, the vision was clear, just like with the water. It was an actual image.
Did we see it this time or no?
Well, if you were outside trying to get somebody, no.
Yeah, sure. I was outside sending out messages.
Yeah, so
they
no.
were inside.
So Tamori saw it.
Yeah, but Tamori, he doesn't care if Tamori sees anything at this point. He's taken it upon himself to also provide Tamori an education. After seeing what happened to them the night that they went into the Scorpion encampment.
Tamori has two dads.
Oh, I love two dads.
Yeah, but I'm the
dad and daddy. Oh no! Don't be a stepdad.
Hey, 40 million views on certain websites can't be wrong. Okay.
You know what? That's a really good point.
What are you doing, stepdaddy?
I get demonetized.
We're just barely keeping TOS. But yeah, you see after a few moments the tent flap opens and you see your favorite Edda come in. And he just kind of points at the two of you, finger guns. Hey.
Okay, hold on. Chewie, what is the most respectable way that I can interact with this human being, but also like hug him?
Swift kick.
You can't. Yeah. Arm barring him and throwing him to the floor is the easiest way to hug him, because otherwise he is too low in station for you to acknowledge.
Damn it. Son of a bitch.
But even when he comes in and he sees the two of you, like he just kind of like smiles, keeps his eyes down. He's like, "Hey, it's two of my favorite samurai."
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Doji to get in here.
When he was coming into the tent,
Yep.
I just gave him that look of disgust.
Yeah, and him and his wife, like his wife stays outside and she kind of like bows low to everybody. He bows low as he kind of enters the tent.
Yeah.
And just kind of looking into Mori's direction, he's just like, "Hey, you want me to check if this one's pregnant too?"
I mean, it couldn't hurt. You could do whatever you need to do. I trust you, my guy.
And you hear him outside.
Yeah.
So, and the Yokoro kind of looks at you, Doji, and she's like, Is this how you've been investigating?"
No, I'll be right back. And I go in.
Yeah.
And I go, be gentle with the body.
Yeah.
Look over at the guy that Doji was talking to. Our leader's abilities to investigate are inscrutable to some. If not for him, though, none of us would be able to aid in the investigation as well as we have. He's very capable and incredibly sagacious.
The Edda kind of looks over in your direction. He's like, Are you talking about me?"
No.
Yeah, buddy.
I have nothing to say to you.
You know what?
I'm not gazpachios.
This has rarely happened. Mori, I give Mori the face of death. When they say that, I'm like, you see this look on me that's like, I probably never looked at you this way before.
I'm good. And then at that look, Mori goes, "I'll wait for Hide outside the tent."
I just nod.
the link away.
Is there someone here that will allow us to cut this tent down, or should we find
once we investigate everything here, we're gonna bring the tent down.
I think we gotta burn it. I say from outside.
Maury said there's something written on top in blood, and I wanted the Kuni to be here.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the murder happen this time and got a much better look at the assailant.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
No.
Would you like us to share the results of our investigation, Grand Investigator?
Oh, I'm glad I'm out of the room.
Yes, please. And I looked down at the
Edda?
I looked down at and I'm like, gently turn the body over.
You got it, boss. And he very carefully puts the arms down at its side and then just kind of lifts and slowly and kind of like very carefully, he's got one hand on like the neck, one hand at the waist, and he's like carefully trying to turn her around. And as he does, you can see that there's something writhing under her skin near the stomach.
Oh no.
And he just kind of looks in your direction and backs away. He's like, that wasn't me. I did not do that.
That's not okay, because I've seen babies born. That's not a baby.
No.
See? It's like, where? There's not even a question. Flips over, I see it, I'm like, that's not a baby.
Which angle are you taking with this strike?
Well, I'm at the side, so it would have to be across.
Okay.
It would have to be.
Sure.
Unless I could like maybe step to the side and go straight down. You know what? No. I'm gonna go upwards. So if this thing tries to get away, it has to go through my blade.
Okay. Make a Yaijutsu roll.
I'm gonna use my free raise.
Yeah. And I believe you have to switch out the
reflexes for?
Yeah, reflexes for agility.
Okay. And I'm gonna use my free raise for accuracy. 39.
Hot damn.
Neil.
And that wasn't even with reflexes.
Yeah. So you instinctively reach down, your blade is already swiping up as the Edda starts to back away mid-sentence. And you hear just this screech echo and reverberate inside the tent. Everybody outside can hear it as well. And some of the guards, the more you can see them kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck was that? And as Hida and the Kuni are walking towards you, being led by one of the other lion guards, the Kuni immediately starts to rush towards you. Inside the tent, Soshi and the Doji and the Edda, you see this very familiar to Doji spider-like creature just cut in half.
Spiders.
As it was coming out of her stomach. And you see either half just fall to either side of her body, and it just starts to become this black ooze as it starts to melt away. And inside her body, you can see that some of her organs have already desiccated and started to wither. And there's just this kind of black ooze just bubbling like a small pool of what should have been blood, but is now this bile.
It looks remarkably similar to what murdered her.
Yeah, it's a shape changer. Those things that we fought. Again. And I reached down like a part of like a cloth anywhere.
Yeah.
to clean my blade.
Yep.
I'm not going to use my cloth with this nasty crap. And I put my blade away.
Yep. And you see the Kuni come inside.
And I motion for the lion.
Yeah. And the Edda is
The
just
head.
like, I'll be outside. This is a little too much. And it's slowly, still kneeling and bowing respectfully, it just starts to back out. And you can hear it immediately starts talking to his wife about what he saw. He's just like, "You're never gonna believe this." But the Akota walks in and puts her hand to her mouth at the ghastly sight.
Yeah, and by the way, my back is to the body. Like, I'm at her.
Yeah. And she just looks at the three of you.
We have a problem. We have a big problem.
Was that always there, or is this something new?
No, those things are implanted. Have you heard reports of the events that happened not too long ago? I can't remember the name of the village. What was the name of the village?
Shiro Morisato.
Have you heard reports of Yori Morisato?
Vague stories because of the Miya, yes.
Well, we need to sit down and talk. This is what I faced, what we faced, and I motioned toward Mori. What we
I'm outside the
faced.
tents. I'm outside the tent.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay. What
Yeah.
I and my companions faced there. And it seems that they're here. I need to talk to Yoshinjuku and tell them what to look for.
Very well.
I also have a description of whatever perpetrated this murder, as well as some information about the last one. In my capacity as the investigator's assistant and representative from the Scorpion clan, I will be happy to share any information I have on his behalf and with his blessing.
And look outside is the Kunis here, right?
Yep.
And that
I
was
motion-
delivered with perfect sincerity and a straight face.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
And I look at the Kuni, and I'm thinking he's finally learned his place.
But yeah, you see
That's not what happened.
the Kuni comes in, unfurls a leather bundle that turns into this long rectangular leather thong of equipment. And as she's about to get to work and you are about to regale this story, I think this is a good point for us to call it for tonight. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. Please take care of yourselves. Continue to keep your distance. Continue to wear your masks in public. Continue to wash your hands. If you are of age, please get yourselves vaccinated. Get yourselves boosted if you are already vaccinated, because it's still not over yet, and it's been a rough few years. So please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. If you feel like you need to reach out for assistance, know that it is okay to not be okay. If you're watching live, there's phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be down in the description box below. But you're also, if you're not in the United States, there is a link so you can find the resources you need in the areas that you live in. Because it's been rough. Some of us have dealt with it better than others. But I've seen some of the darker side of things. So please know that there is help out there if you need it. As always, thank you for tuning in. I will see you on Friday for our Star Wars Out in the Dark, or I will see you in a couple of weeks, as next week the channel will be dark. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good night.